Right, hello everybody, welcome back to The Golden Sky. Today it is Tuesday the 25th of November 2025. I'm Tom, and in today's video we are going to look finally at Liverpool's yet again disastrous 3-0 loss to Nottingham Forest at home. We're going to take a look at a few days to digest this game, to get all my feelings in order. I've watched it all the way back. It was a horrible experience. Would not recommend to anybody who values their time even a little bit. Not a good way to spend a Monday night, but that's how I spent my Monday night. And then I watched Everton beat United, which did make me feel a bit better, I will say. So that's what we're going to look at today. We're going to go through all the photos and clips. All the photos to show you what happened in the game that I've pulled out, and talk through them, give you my thoughts on where Liverpool are going wrong. However, I will preface that by saying I don't know where Liverpool are going wrong at the minute. I have no idea. And if you guys watch any football channels on YouTube apart from mine, which I'm sure you probably do, and they are making videos saying this is why Liverpool lost to Forest, or this is why Liverpool are in bad form. At this moment in time, they either must be absolute geniuses, complete football geniuses who need to be in management, or they are guessing and they have no idea, because it's impossible to tell. There's too many things wrong at Liverpool right now. You could say transfers, players settling in, emotions, tactics, formations, injuries. That there's so many that it doesn't just boil down to something that you can convey in a 15 to 30 minute YouTube video, especially not a YouTube short. If there's those going around, I have no idea. So with that said, today we're going to look through the whole game, and I'll point out what I think from the game, my thoughts and feelings. Let me know yours in the comments below, and if you do like the video, please do drop it a like as well. Let's try and get to that key 20 like mark that we've been aiming for recently. And if you are new to the channel, please do click subscribe as well. We're trying to get to 250 subscribers, so if you can click subscribe and help me get there, that would be much appreciated. Podcast listeners, 5-star ratings and reviews helps me out a lot on there as well. So with all that said, let's get into the first part of the game and get going with this analysis. Here we go. Okay, so believe it or not, guys, in this game, Liverpool actually didn't start off badly. They actually started off pretty good. Not amazing. Don't let it sort of fool you that we started well and we were really good and we were absolutely amazing and top form and all this stuff. We were all right. We created a few chances. We looked pretty dangerous. Gakpo, Salah doing their thing. We looked okay. So that's what you'll see in these early clips. We've got Gakpo one-on-one, and we saw this quite a lot in the early part of the game. The wingers being one-on-one, and they actually did a good job of taking on their fullback. Now, you see here, Gakpo is going to drive to the byline, which he's done from about this position, beats his man, and that's really good play. Now, what I will say about this is, currently, this moment in time, this is the only way we ever score goals, by our wingers going one-on-one and working the ball into the box somehow. The reason for that is we are literally incapable at the minute of building up within the width of the 18-yard box. Like, incapable. It happened... Well, it didn't happen in this game because it never happens. That's the way you can see it's happening. We never play through the middle of the pitch. We never do intricate little tiki-taka passes. That doesn't exist for us. Something to keep note of. So Gakpo beats his man here, cuts inside. Good play from Gakpo. Early doors, so he leaves him with his knees on backwards. Cuts into the box. Comes to Alexis McAllister. This is about, I think, less than 10 minutes into the game, maybe. Can't remember the exact minute. McAllister, here he goes, ready to smash it in the net for Liverpool. Now, there's lots of players on the line. It's eventually going to hit Elliot Anderson in the head, and he's going to clear it. For me, this is not a chance you can afford to miss. Now, maybe I'm being critical because there's lots of, like I said, players on the line. They've got bodies in the way. And I just think if this was Nottingham Forest who had this chance against Liverpool, let's say Liverpool were playing really well and Forest worked really hard defensively all game, kept it 0-0, and then they got this chance at the end of the game and they didn't score it, Liverpool fans would say, wow, we were so lucky not to concede there at the end. They should have scored. And that's what we should think about this chance. We shouldn't just gloss over this. Can he just pass it into this far corner? Difficult to say. It's all happening very fast. I think he actually does okay. Like, he aims back where it came from, so against the grain of all these people running in. And he also goes high with the ball to maybe try and avoid, people throwing themselves at it with their legs, that kind of thing. Gets a little bit unlucky, but I just don't think this is a chance you can miss. And there's going to be a lot of McAllister and Gakpo in this video, guys. I will make that clear before we go on. Not to single them out, but just what I noticed when on my rewatch of this game. We actually retain the ball. Gakpo doing a good job, retains possession. It comes out. It ends up with the feet of Milos Kerkez, who also in this game did okay for half an hour. Puts in a really wicked cross. It comes into the box. It ends up falling once again to Alexis McAllister, who with his left foot this time has a shot. And this time, Forest block it again. Exactly the same. It goes out for a corner. Now, good start for Liverpool. Things looking really good. And I honestly believe in this game, that if we'd have took the lead, we probably would have won. Because I don't know if you've seen the stat. Liverpool this season have not gained a single point from a losing position yet in the league. So if we go behind in a game, we've lost every single time. We haven't even drawn. When we take the lead, we've won. And I know that because we've won 6 and lost 6 in the league. It's an exact split. So we have to score first to win a game. It's like the players get confidence. They get security in what they're doing as a result. And when they concede, it's like they just wilt under the pressure. But I've put this photo in just to show the setup of the team. I just thought it was an interesting one on the replay here. So you've got the front three pretty clear there with Isak, Salah, Gakpo. Now, we've got Szoboszlai's at right back, but he's inverted into the middle to sort of make a little sort of 2 with Gravenberch. That's fine. Jones and McAllister in front of them coming forward. This is where we see the remnants of a box midfield. This is kind of what I talked about in the preview that we might do a little bit. That's also fine. And then we've got the back three. So this is something that you see a lot when you send your midfielder inside, and teams like to set up with sort of a 3-2-5. Our midfielders haven't quite joined there to make this a 5 yet, but this is something you see. And our shape isn't bad here. It's not bad at all. But we'll see later into the game how that goes. More good work from us here this time. Got a bit of an overload here on the right-hand side of the pitch. It's essentially, if you cut it like this, it's a 4 against 3. This is with Szoboszlai, obviously, at right back. Jones coming over. He was also in the right back position a lot during this game. McAllister's come right over. Nice bit of interplay. Jones, McAllister, Szoboszlai, Salah. Good play. Everything's looking good right now, isn't it, guys? Everything is looking rosy if you're a Liverpool fan. Salah, who was really good for the first half an hour of this game as well. And to be honest with you, throughout the game, he did try his best to create anything, something for us. Was a bit unlucky at times in this one. Beats these two players. Comes inside. You're thinking maybe is he going to lay this one in here? Is he going to keep just dribbling, maybe trying to get a shot off? Well, he actually chops back onto his right foot. Completely beats both these two defenders. It's actually a really good play from Salah. Gets it this time now. Right foot. All the attention's been drawn over to Salah. And now we've got players crashing the box. One of them at the back post is Milos Kerkez, where this ball goes. You can see it's just here with Kerkez. It comes onto his right foot. Now, we've seen him score 1 goal with his right foot already this season against Brentford. That was a little bit more of an open goal, 1 yard out type chance. This one, he actually has some work to do, and he balloons it over the bar. Now, I'm going to be critical here again. I'm going to say these are chances that you just can't afford to miss if you want to win games. This is 2 really good chances. Maybe not really good, but 2 good chances that we should convert. And people have said, I've read a lot of, well, if we'd have scored those, and I've just said it myself to a certain degree, we didn't, we were unlucky. We didn't score those chances, and then we went on to lose. If we'd have scored them, things would have been different. And I agree with that sentiment. However, this is not something that we can just keep saying as an excuse as Liverpool fans, or as any fan for this Liverpool team. If they score the chances, things will be different. Well, no shit, Sherlock. It's kind of one of them, You're playing football to score goals. If you don't score any, you won't win many football matches. We haven't scored one in the Premier League for 2 games. We've conceded 6. You're not going to win many games playing like that. And make that clear. These are chances you just can't pass up, in my opinion. I think he has to do better. But there was more. This time it's Gravenberch. He's now driving forward again. Going to find Isak for a rare touch of the ball. He only had 14 in this game. He was really, really quiet, and he's been really quiet. And there's been some hit pieces on him this week. So one from The Athletic. I think the heading of the title was 125 million reasons why Alexander Isak's time at Liverpool so far has been a complete failure, or something like that. And then the subheading was something like, he couldn't have had a worse start to life at Liverpool if he'd have tried. It's quite a violent article, and I'm never usually a fan of that type of article where it's really, really bashing a player, especially over something they can't control, like their own transfer fee. Now, that said, I do agree. Isak has not had a good start to life at Liverpool. He's been injured. He's obviously not getting involved. He's only scored the 1 goal in the cup. Not amazing. But he gets the ball here, drives forward into the box, tries to cross it in. We've got runners. It ends up with Gakpo. He has another shot. It's a half chance. In another world, he could maybe lay this back to Isak, and Isak maybe has a better angle at the far post. It doesn't happen. Nottingham Forest concede a corner. Isak, you can see, wants the ball. It's just things like this at the minute. And Isak's asking for the ball, so I don't mind too much this reaction, because he's saying to Gakpo, come on, look, you can give it to me here. But just this Gravenberch here, like the head back, like he's exasperated by what he's seeing. He's obviously saying, give it to Isak. But I'm not a massive fan of the body language sometimes from our players. And I saw Carrot said last night on Monday Night Football, and I actually thought their analysis with Martinez was really interesting, and good analysis too, from them both. But one thing they mentioned was, after the game, Van Dijk come out and done an interview saying we're a mess, blah blah, and he said that he likes Van Dijk coming out as the captain, as he should, and I agree with that. But something Carragher said was he wants to see Mo Salah come out and take responsibility as well. And he mentioned how a year ago Salah came out and spoke about his contract, and you'd never hear of him, he said, unless he wins man of the match. Now, it's not untrue what he's saying about Salah, in my opinion, that he doesn't come out after we lose games, and maybe he should as a leader or a senior member of the team. But one thing I've got a bit sick of this season is how much our players are talking to the media. There's too many interviews. There's too many little, and they probably have to do this stuff nowadays, but these little, mini games that they do online for various channels, like guess each other's FIFA rating, or look at each other's artwork and guess who's drawn which football player. They probably have to do this stuff now as part of being a footballer, just for the social image of it all. I'm not interested personally in what our players have to say about our form currently. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm interested in how they play on the pitch. I don't care if Van Dijk comes out and says we were terrible, or if it was Mo Salah, or if it was Amara Nallo. I don't care. All I want to see is them be better in the next game. I don't want them to say anything at all if it means that they're not better in the next game. Just something I thought I'd throw in. Anyway, let's go to the next one. This is when things start to turn bad for Liverpool. This is before we concede. But right here, this is where you'll see Liverpool are just way off it in terms of winning tackles, defensively taking pride in the game, and being a tough, horrible team to play against. I honestly think, as of today, We are the easiest team to play against in the entire Premier League. And I don't mean that in terms of quality of footballer, but I mean we are so easy to physically dominate and to set up against and battle with. We are so easy to match and better in that regard. None of this can be made more evident than in this clip. Murillo and Gakpo going for a 50-50 ball. Okay, Gakpo is 6'4", right? He's 6'4". He's a big lad. Okay, he's running towards this. Look at Murillo. Okay, he's got his leg pulled back, ready to smash into the tackle. He's going to go through this ball. If it means he takes Gakpo with him, he's perfectly all right with that. He's going to smash it. He's going to win the tackle. That's what he's thinking. Look at Cody Gakpo. He's got his arms up like this by his chest, trying to protect himself. This is a natural thing you'd do if you were scared. You put your arms up to try and stop things coming your way. Both of his arms are up. He's turned to the side, and he actually turns fully his back to the tackle. If the screenshot was a couple of frames later, the one I got. His feet are not in anywhere near a position to tackle. And obviously then what happens is Murillo wins the ball and comes away with it and hits a shot from 40 yards out, and Alisson saves it. But it's just a sign of what Liverpool are like. It's just an absolute telltale nutshell encapsulation of what Liverpool are like at the minute. They will not win a tackle if their lives depend on it. And we're about to see that from this clip. Now, this is Nottingham Forest's first goal. Liverpool have just had a corner from another relatively promising attack. And what happens from this corner is unforgivable. And you will not win football matches playing like this. That's just a fact. And what I mean is, already, since this screenshot's been taken, there's been a header on the edge of the box between McAllister and Igor Jesus. Now, I'm not expecting McAllister to win many headers, but he loses this one. One duel lost in this scenario. The ball's up in the air. Szoboszlai and Gibbs-White looking at it. Now, Szoboszlai decides what I'm going to do is point to Gravenberch, who's just off the screen. You can't see him. He's just this way. And Szoboszlai points to him and says, come on, you deal with it. There's so much doubt and nerves whenever we have to defend. It's unbelievable. He's saying, you deal with it. No, Dominic, you deal with it. Get your body in here, shield Gibbs-White off from the ball, let Gravenberch come in and help you out, and win the ball back and get it wide. Sustain the attack. When you want to beat a team in a low block, you have to sustain attacks. We were so good at it for so many years, and Man City were the best at it. They would kill teams off who defend deep by constantly sustaining attacks. It eventually tires the team out. They have a lapse of concentration from constant defending, and they get a goal. Man City or Liverpool. We are not good at sustaining attacks. We always give teams a counter-attack every 2 minutes or so. This is where Szoboszlai, for how good he's been, he still too often has these like brain farts where he just makes a really obvious mistake. It happens twice here. Gibbs-White is now able to get the ball because Gravenberch was never ready to get the ball in a million years. And this is a problem with Gravenberch. He's nowhere near aggressive enough at the minute to play the position he's playing as a defensive midfielder. Although, to be honest, his position is that of a marauding all-around midfielder like Lothar Matthäus at this point, which I don't really understand in itself. That said, Gibbs-White here gets the ball, and you see Gravenberch now, he decides, shit, I should probably try and make a tackle. But again, he comes in, so we've already lost basically 2 duels in this move. One on header on the edge of the box, and the second to let the ball bounce and Gibbs-White to get it. Here's the third. Gravenberch tries to tackle Gibbs-White, but he's just nowhere near it. Gibbs-White just puts his body in the way, doesn't let Gravenberch get the ball. The ball ends up rolling forward, but Liverpool here, Kara said this on Monday Night Football as well, have got 2 players around the ball, so close to it. There's no way Gibbs-White should be able to win this ball. There's no way. Konate has to get in, kick the ball. We've got players back. It's fine to go backwards, but get in, make a tackle. Gibbs-White gets it. Okay. The ball falls into space. Now, if I tell you now that this ball is going to be won by Igor Jesus. Would you believe me if you hadn't seen it? You probably wouldn't, would you? There's Szoboszlai, his momentum is already running towards the ball. Curtis Jones is already running towards the ball. Konate is about 1 yard from the ball. Igor Jesus is running this way. And he's trying to, look, his arms up, he's trying to shift his body weight to run back towards the ball. Unbelievably, once again, 2 Liverpool players don't make the ball. Again, look at Jones, he's hesitant, his arms out, he's trying to stop his momentum. As though, imagine you're running and someone runs in the way, he's gone, whoa. Instead of going, whoa, you should have gone whack and smashed him, won the ball, make a tackle. Everyone's watching. Szoboszlai didn't get it. It's a mess. Igor Jesus wins the ball, comes out with it. That's like 4 or 5 duels lost in this move alone. Now, he plays a ball to Ndoye. Konate is massively favourite to this ball. Ndoye is nowhere near it. In the whole flight of the ball, he's never getting it. Ibrahima Konate is a massive, powerful, fast defender. Whether you think he's good at football or not, that's a fact. He's huge, he's quick, and he's powerful. What he does here, I have no idea. Ndoye gives him the smallest nudge in the world. He's smaller than Konate, by the way. Konate should just put his arm out, stiff arm him like he's in the NFL, and play the ball back to Alisson. Or, if he wants, he could take a touch with his right foot or his left foot, dribble it inside a little bit, pass it over here to Kirkes or to Jones. He's got so many options. There's really no danger from this position. But what he does is kick it out for a corner. It's astounding, really, when you think he's here. He's 25 yards out from the goal line, and he kicks this ball out for a corner. This is not acceptable. And this is Forest's first corner of the game. It was also their first shot of the game that they score from. They're 30 minutes in at this point. 30 minutes. But this is the story of Liverpool. This is what we do. And I wanted to look at this. Now, on Monday Night Football, they talked about the corner, but they didn't talk about it enough for me. They didn't go into detail, which I'm now about to do, about how we set up from this corner. Because I wanted to look at it. We've conceded a lot of set pieces now this season. I've actually lost count. It might be 7 or 8 in the Premier League alone that we've conceded from set pieces. So I thought, well, something must be going wrong. That's just not bad luck. Something must be fundamentally wrong with how we set up from a corner. So I paused it here. Elliot Anderson is not yet even near to take this corner. He's not even started his run up yet. So we see Liverpool set up in the box. This is not an unusual setup. On the front post, we've got Kirkes. He's there in case the ball is under hit to head it away. That's pretty normal. Next to him, we've got Isak, Van Dijk, Konate, and Gravenberch. Now, there are 4 tallest players, aside from Gakpo. Probably our best 4 players in the air. You could argue Gravenberch maybe not, but he's big. He's at the back post. Konate and Van Dijk right in the centre where you'd want them. And Isak at the front post for any front poster balls that might come in right on his head. That's a usual setup for a team at a corner, to zonal mark with your big heading threats. What you then need is your smaller players to block the runs of the other team's best headers of the ball. So you can see here, pay close attention to this. Szoboszlai is with Gibbs White. Remember that. Okay? This is his responsibility. His only job from this corner is not to head the ball away. That is not his job. His job is to stop Gibbs White from running and being able to head it. It's the same with Gakpo on Sangare. And then McAllister and Salah have Murillo and Milenkovic. Now, obviously, there's a clear mismatch. Murillo and Milenkovic, Forest's 2 best headers of the ball, with Salah and McAllister, who they can just overpower. Now, Liverpool aren't stupid, the coaching staff, or maybe they are, but they know that. They are not expecting Salah and McAllister to head the ball instead of these 2, but what they are expecting is to make it difficult for these 2 players to get a run, and our players should then theoretically be able to head the ball away. That's the idea. This is a pretty normal, usual, typical setup from a corner. The execution of it, though, is where we're going massively wrong. Just watch. Elliot Anderson is now about 1 second away from kicking this ball from a corner. So we've moved forward maybe 3 seconds of normal time, if that, maybe 2. Just look at Szoboszlai now. He's looking this way, right? Here's his man, Morgan Gibbs-White. Remember? Look, let's go back. He's giving him a hug here. He's got his hands on him. What's happened here? What has happened? 1 second has passed by. Gibbs-White has just walked away from Szoboszlai, who's just started to completely ignore him. Completely. Okay? That's problem number 1. Now, look at problem number 2. Salah and McAllister have both been attracted to Milenkovic, and I have absolutely no idea why. Why? One of them was with Murillo. Look, let's go back. One of them's with Murillo, and one of them is with Milenkovic. They don't ever sort it out who's with who. Salah's looking at the ball. He's not looking at the player. I don't know why he's looking at the ball. Also, I would argue, Curtis Jones is the one on the edge of the box. I would argue to put Mo Salah here and put Curtis Jones here. Salah's better on the counter-attack, and Jones has surely got to be a better header of the ball than Salah, surely. But that's a whole nother point. McAllister is lost. He tries his best to block, but he's nowhere near, and he just gets physically outmatched by Milenkovic. And Murillo, no one now is anywhere near him, because he just ghosts in. Salah and McAllister are quite literally not blocking him, which is their only job. So we've got 4 blockers here. Szoboszlai, Gakpo, McAllister, Salah. Only one of them is blocking properly, and that's Gakpo. He's blocking Sangare. He does a good job, and that's a rarity for Gakpo. The ball comes in. It goes to this front post, and look who's jumping to head the ball. Morgan Gibbs-White, would you believe it? Dominic Szoboszlai's man. Nowhere to be seen with Szoboszlai. They don't quite win it. Van Dijk actually heads the ball, but it falls now to Murillo. And remember, he was supposed to be blocked by McAllister, who's been marauded into the 6-yard box, and Salah, who stood with nobody because he never blocked anybody in the end. Szoboszlai, who was left, you remember, who left Gibbs-White, has now had to rush out to try and block Murillo, who's not his man, but never was in the first place. Murillo takes a touch and has a shot. To be able to take a touch and bang it in the net from a corner, it's poor. We've got more angles of this. Here you can see Elliot Anderson just in the bottom right. He's got both his arms up in the air. Again, he's not even ready to take the corner yet. All right? And you can just see next to my head, Szoboszlai with Gibbs-White, McAllister with Milenkovic, and I believe it should be Salah with Murillo. But Salah never one time bothers to look at Murillo. It never happens. He's always looking at the ball, and I don't understand why. It gets a bit messy. Elliot Anderson is now taking the corner. You can't quite see him, but he's now about to kick the ball. Look at Szoboszlai again. We can see it even more clearly here. He's just completely ignoring Gibbs-White, who was his man, who runs right off the back. Murillo is completely free because Salah is doing literally nothing. He's not facing either of his 2 blockers. He's just looking at the ball. McAllister's nowhere near. He's not unless he's blocking the air or blocking Salah. He's blocking nothing at the minute. And they obviously score. It's really, really bad defending from a corner. Doesn't stop there though. It just went from bad to worse from that point. Here's a short clip just so you can see the quality in the game. This is McAllister again. Bouncing ball from a header, from a long goal kick or a long ball. Easy control. It's going to come down on his foot. This is a World Cup winning, Premier League winning midfielder with technical ability oozing out of his veins on top form. Completely misses the ball. I mean, he's nowhere near it. Look at this screenshot. This is the best one I could get. He's nowhere even close to the ball. There's like actual visible space between his foot and the ball. Completely misses it. The ball bounces in the air. Well, don't worry, we got lucky because it goes back to McAllister to control this one. Well, actually, he completely misses this one as well. There wasn't really a good screenshot of this that I could get, but he completely miscontrols this one as well. Doesn't even touch the ball. That's 2 in a row. Completely misses the ball. Just a bouncing ball to control. Completely misses it again. So it bounces up again. Now this time, he tries to play this sort of flick pass to Van Dijk. But he's well off balance. It's well too casual. I don't really know what he's trying to do. And he gets no power on it whatsoever. It goes to Gibbs-White. And what actually happens is Gibbs White just breaks through this line and tries to play the pass in for Jesus. He gets the pass wrong. But on another day, they score from this. It's just shocking individual errors. We go to the second half then now, where things only got worse for Liverpool. This is 25 seconds into the second half. Arne Slot's just delivered his team talk to the players. He's probably laid out these ideas and plans on how we can fix it. Now, it's up to you to decide whether you think they would have worked or not, but undoubtedly that's what he would have done. And when you concede after 40 seconds, your team talk, you might as well have not had it. You might as well have not had it. Here we see Forest again out on the wing. And the ball is going to just be chipped inside to Nico Williams. Now, McAllister has seen this run. Good work from McAllister, you might say. He's tracked the run. He's got his eye on it. Everything's looking all right. Gakpo's on the edge of the box on Savona. Kirkes is in a decent position here. If he just keeps checking over his shoulder, which he does, that's fine. And then the centre-backs have got the striker. Everything here is looking pretty all right. Except when the ball gets played in here, this is the tackle where McAllister has to win this ball and sweep up the attack, complete our defensive stance, and we can get attacking ourselves. That just has to happen, because if you're not able to win this ball, you're going to concede goals. There's no way around it, guys. You just are. He's way too weak in this tackle. He actually misses the ball again here. Nico Williams just easily beats him to the ball. Comes inside, and now from this position, you are goosed, to put it lightly. There is no possible way you can defend this, unless now somehow in the box everyone gets touch tight. Konate gets over here. We manage to snuff it out. Maybe Alisson has to make a save. What you'll notice though is Konate obviously has to run over, and Van Dijk has to cover this pass that could come across the face. Unfortunately, this player is the player that scores. Just look at Cody Gakpo. Look at his body position in this one, first of all. Flat-footed, completely on his heels, ball watching. Look at it now. Now he's realised, shit, I'm late. Savona has already sniffed the chance. Gakpo has not. He's only just realised what might be happening, and he's too late. The ball comes back to Savona, and he can put it in the net. That's not acceptable from Gakpo and McAllister. It's not acceptable. I want you to look again here. Before this ball is even played to Nico Williams, Gakpo is stood, watch this, 5 yards in front of Nico Savona. Okay? By the time they score the goal, Savona has just ran straight past him. It's just not good enough. Now, another one. Another 50-50 involving Gakpo, and this time Sangare. Again, Sangare wanting it more than Cody Gakpo. Sliding in. Gakpo jumping over the tackle. More concerned with getting out of the way than getting in himself. I want to see him sliding for the ball. I want to see more than tactics. Before, we can talk all day about inverted fullbacks, or bodies in midfield, or having an extra man at the back, or a certain kind of attacking pattern. If you're not going to make tackles, you won't win games. That's just a fact. It just is. Sangare wins the ball, and now look at our reaction. You've got Gakpo and Ekitike just both immediately get sucked to the ball. We're 2-0 down now, so in their mind, they're thinking, oh my god, we have to get the ball back now. And they just switch off completely. It's so easy for Forest. Gibbs White just floats into this space, and Savona just easily passes him the ball. It's just not good from either of these two to just basically run like headless chickens at the same ball. And also, our defensive shape at this point, I don't know what's going on. Szoboszlai's at right midfield, Curtis Jones is at right back, Gravenberch is centre back, McAllister's in number 6, and then it's just an absolute defensive line mess. It's like McDonald's at the back. Now, this is the free kick, the third goal, and by far the most scandalous goal Liverpool have conceded this entire season, in my opinion, except maybe one or two. But this one is really, really bad. It's important you know the context of this free kick. This is a free kick given, and before it was taken, Liverpool made a sub, right? We brought Rio and Gamora on. So this free kick was not taken quickly, which you could use as an excuse for why we defend the way we do. It's important to clarify, it was not taken quickly. This was taken slowly, if anything. What I want you to focus on is how many Liverpool players are actually watching the ball and looking at what's going on. Mo Salah isn't. He's looking at the referee. He's staring at the ref. Dominic Szoboszlai is looking over here. And I don't know why. Hugo Ekitike is looking at the ball. That's good. Let's give Hugo Ekitike a tick. Cody Gakpo is looking over here. And I don't know why. Federico Chiesa is looking at the bench. Because he's saying, he's also got his arms out, he's saying to the bench, where the hell am I playing? Because if you look at this now, let's just get rid of all these lines. If you look at this now, look at our defensive setup. We've got Gravenberch at right back, we've got Van Dijk at centre back, Kirk, as you'd assume, is down here, but it's actually Robbo at this point, sorry, is down here. McAllister's in front of them, so you've got a 3, then a 1, and then we've got a 5 across the middle with Gakpo at centre mid and Chiesa. Very confusing, and Chiesa is confused. He's looking at the bench, he's saying, where am I playing? What's going on? Rio's looking at the ball. So far, out of the 6 players we've looked at, 2 of them are looking at the ball. Our 17-year-old winger we've just brought on, and our striker. Okay, none of our midfield. McAllister, you can't quite tell if he's looking at the ball or not. Gravenberch is. Van Dijk's got his head down. I don't know where Van Dijk's looking, but it certainly isn't over here. He's certainly not looking at the ball. And I can't see Robbo, so I can't say if he's looking at the ball. But what happens is Forest take the free kick and Liverpool are just caught right off guard. Now, he's 10 yards at least off Hutchinson when Hutchinson controls this ball. And you might say, why is he so far off? And I initially, when I saw the goal in real time, thought he should have been much tighter to Hutchinson. But you'll see in a minute why he's not. And I actually don't think that part is Robbo's fault. I'll be honest. But this level of one-on-one defending is inexcusable. And if a non-league footballer defended like this, they would be criticised for it being poor. I don't know what he's doing. Hutchinson just runs inside and ghosts past him like he's a ghost in Scooby-Doo. And you can seep straight through his skin like he's a one-dimensional being. Just goes right past, ghosts in, has a shot. Alisson saves it. And Gibbs White scores. Look who's here on the edge of the box. Cody Gakpo, again, late. You're going to see a better angle of that in a second. Look at this. This is the free kick again. Look at this. Murillo has literally taken the free kick. Look where Robbo is. So he's watching the ball. He's 10 yards off Hutchinson, at least maybe 15. The reason why he's so far off is because our formation at this point is just ludicrous. I think we've gone to 3 at the back. I think that's what Slot tried to do here. I think. Anyway, I don't know for sure because it was just a mess. So, if we have gone to 3 at the back, Robbo has to be tucked in. He can't be out here. Because if Robbo was stood here, there would be this much space between him and Van Dijk, which is, you can't do that, obviously. You all know that. So he has to be tucked in. My question would be, why is Rio stood so far in field if we're going to play a 3 at the back? He needs to be here. If that's the case, Salah needs to be here. But this message clearly has not been communicated to the players because you can see Chiesa was saying, where am I supposed to go? Rio has just come on as a sub, so he's been told where to stand because he's just ran on the pitch to go and stand exactly here. This is not his fault, he's been told where to go. Our midfield is just not ready for what Forest are going to do. They think that Forest will either play it short or they'll put it in the box. They switch off. It comes to Hutchinson. Look at the reaction of our midfielders. It's disgusting. Chiesa, just walking. Gakpo, a jog. But it's one of them jogs that's like slower than a walk. He's like jogging but barely moving. Szoboszlai, the same. Look at Gibbs White. They're all looking at it. They're just watching the game develop. No intention of running back to affect the play. Hutchinson gets inside. Alisson is now saving the shot. Look at our midfielders. Chiesa walking. Looks like he's going for a stroll with his dog. Gakpo stood still. Szoboszlai stood still. It's disgusting, honestly, to see this type of thing. Look at Gibbs White. In fact, let's draw the space around Gibbs White. He's literally got... Is that about 10 yards either side of him? In the middle of the penalty area? These three players are looking directly at him. Before this has even occurred, this shot, they should have sprinted back, got involved in the play. Maybe, when this ball comes out, they could have kicked it away. But none of them do. It comes to Gibbs White, he scores. You saw Gakpo's reaction, he sprints at the end. It's too late. It's too late. So that was 3-0, that was game over, but I wanted to put one more clip in also because the pain wasn't quite over from that point. Again, we see here, there's a duel, the ball's here in the air. There's a duel between one Nottingham Forest player and 3 Liverpool players who all jump for the same ball, the same header, just a complete lack of communication. But who wins it? Nottingham Forest, of course. And now Hudson-Odoi can come away with the ball. We're in this weird 3 at the back sort of thing again with Chiesa and Gakpo. We end up, Szoboszlai has to sprint back to now be a back 4, but they're bearing down on us, and as a result, nobody from Liverpool is in the middle of the pitch again. How many times have I said that this season? No one ever stands in the middle of the pitch for Liverpool. It's wild. The ball comes wide. They've got it on the wing. Look at everybody just ball watching. No concern for who might get the ball. Everybody is just running blindly towards the goal like headless chickens. It comes back to Hutchinson. He just completely does both these players. This is Chiesa and Gravenberch. And this is maybe why Gravenberch shouldn't be ever considered a real centre-back option. He just doesn't have the awareness to cut this pass out. Hutchinson gets a shot off. And if it wasn't for Robbo's block, this would have been 4-0 and we'd have lost even worse than we actually did. Not good at all. Alright guys, that is going to do it for today's video. I really do hope that you did enjoy it. Yeah, rough one. Very, very rough rewatch. Very, very rough watch in the first place. And if you did sit through this and see some new things that you maybe didn't notice on the first watch, or maybe this is the first time you're seeing these things, do comment away and let me know what you think of them. Let me know what you think of Liverpool or what you think of the video that I've produced. Let me know if you find it useful or good, or you'd watch more like this. If you want me to change anything, I'm always interested in hearing how I can make the videos better for you guys. So let me know. If you did enjoy it though, like the video. That's a good way of me knowing that you did enjoy it. Let's get to 20. Subscribe to the channel. Let's get to 250. And with that said, I do have to tell you all, I should have maybe said this at the start of the video. I am not going to be making any videos for the PSV game. I am in London tomorrow for the work Christmas do. I will not be able to watch the match, and as a result, I won't be able to make ratings right after the game. I am in a hotel in London. I won't have any of my stuff, and I won't have even seen the game. I'm quite happy about it, but it does mean there'll be no ratings for that one. I may try and make some sort of short video that I can maybe upload. We'll see. Or maybe a reaction or something. But there won't be match ratings for the PSV game tomorrow, unfortunately, because I'm going to miss it. Hopefully Liverpool win, and the next time I speak to you then, as a result of that, will likely be the match preview for the West Ham game on Friday. So until then, I hope you all have a really, really good rest of your week. Hopefully Liverpool win on Wednesday, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. Another disappointing Liverpool defeat. Until then, I'll speak to you all very soon. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.